Hi, welcome to Vibrant, Visible, and Victorious. What is Vibrant, Visible, Victorious? It's a space for people of color to play tabletop role playing games within our group. Welcome to the party. Um, Today we're playing The Quiet Year. This is a GM-less, diceless map drawing game where players draw cards and tell the story of a post-apocalyptic community's attempts to build something good for themselves within their quiet year. This is my first time streaming with this group, so I'm nervous and I'm kind of just reading text. Let's introduce everyone. Um, why don't we introduce Morgan first? Morgan.
Oh, geez. Okay, on the spot. Hi, y'all. I'm Morgan. Yeah. Happy to be here. Super excited. I heard really good things about this game.
Cool. Miriam.
Hi, I'm Miriam. You can find me on Twitter at media_junkie, and I am also excited to play this game. I've actually never played a diceless and GMless game, and this is going to be great. Like, I'm super stoked.
Cool. Yeah, me too. And Mike.
Yes, hello. This is Mike. Super excited to play. I've played Dreams Askew before, which was amazing. So I'm very looking forward to this as well.
Cool. Okay. Before we start, we should thank our sponsors. Thanks Tabletop Loot. They sell on their site fine dice for all your gaming needs. Thanks Devin Rue, mistress of maps, mapstress, perhaps an amazing community supporter. Thanks So Nerdwear. It's what the nerds wear. You can type exclamation merch into the Twitch chat, and you can get cool merch and get a discount with the code welcome in all caps to get 10% off of your next purchase. You can check out our Patreon, um, the Patreon for Welcome to the Table, if you type exclamation Patreon in the Twitch chat. Our Patreon not only goes to support the channel, but also acts as an incubator and provides funds for amazing artists, writers, and more in the RPG community. So if you want some awesome benefits while supporting the amazing makers, join us on Patreon. And as always, type exclamation Discord into our Twitch chat, and you can join us on our Discord where we plan these games and talk about everything. Okay. Um, so first, okay. I'll begin by going through the rules, and then we'll take turns going over certain sections. Can everyone see? No, okay, that's fine. Okay. The opening story. For a long time, we were at war with the jackals. Now, finally, we've driven them off, and we're left with this, a year of relative peace. One quiet year with which to build our community up and learn again how to work together. Come winter, the frost shepherds will arrive, and we might not survive the encounter. This is when the game will end, but we don't know about that yet. What we know is that right now, in this moment, there's an opportunity to build something. Let's start by familiarizing ourselves with our tools. This is our map. Before playing, we'll establish some of the landscape. I'm just gonna switch to, okay, yeah. This is our map. Does everyone see? Okay, well, that's fine. This is our map. Before playing, we'll establish some of the landscape. As we play, we'll update the map to reflect new discoveries, conflicts, and opportunities. Parts of the map will be literal cartography and other parts will be symbolic. We'll try to avoid writing words on it, though common symbols are fine. Throughout the game, we'll all be responsible for drawing on this map. It's fine to draw poorly or crudely, but all of us are going to draw. And if we were playing this game physically, we would be having project dice. When our community starts a project, we'll place one on the map to note how many weeks it will take to finish the project. Each week, they tick down by one. When a die reaches 0, the project is complete. And I'm going to put some tokens on the screen. Chad is saying, Shogun, are you there? Okay. I'm going to put some tokens on the screen. Cool. I'm going to put some tokens near the bottom of the map. Oh, okay, that's not what I thought it was going to be like, but that's fine. These are our contempt tokens. They represent any tension and frustration that might arise in the community. And we have a summary card in our handouts. It's the reference card number 0 for all the players. They'll remind us what to do each week of the quiet year and in what order. Okay. Just gonna, copy and paste a couple of these. Now I remember how to. Okay. If anyone wants more contempt tokens, I can just make some more. Okay. So the 4 cards on the side of the screen, these represent, these are the 4 suits: spring, summer, autumn, and winter, all lined up in order. They would correspond to the 4 seasons. When the King of Spades is drawn, when the King of Spades is drawn, the game will be over. It can come anytime during the winter. All of the cards are already shuffled. I'll shuffle them right now. Okay. Okay, who we are. We all have 2 roles to play in this game. The first is to represent the community at a bird's eye level and to care about its fate. The second is to dispassionately introduce dilemmas as scientists conducting an experiment. The quiet year asks us to move in and out of these 2 roles. We don't embody specific characters nor act out scenes. Instead, we represent currents of thought within the community. When we speak or take action, we might be representing a single person or a great many. If we allow ourselves to care about the fate of these people, the quiet year becomes a richer experience and serves as a lens for understanding communities in conflict. We'll also be presented with opportunities to introduce new issues for the community to deal with. This will often happen when we draw cards or use the Discover Something New action. By dispassionately introducing dilemmas and then returning to our other role as representatives of the community, we create tension and make the community's successes feel real. If there's an issue you struggle with in real life, like whether violence is ever justified, introduce situations that call it into question. Before the game begins, we must establish some facts about the community and what its surroundings are like. We begin with a brief discussion, taking 2 minutes at most, of the general terrain and habitat of the area. This can be as simple as someone saying, "How about a community in a rocky desert?" and everyone else nodding in agreement. At this point, each of us should introduce one detail about the local terrain. When we introduce our detail, we then sketch our contribution onto the map. These sketches should be rough and simple, leaving lots of blank space for additions during play. The community itself should be fairly large on the map, perhaps occupying a third of the sheet. Unless otherwise stated, assume that our community has 60 to 80 members. As an example, a group might decide to set their game in a forest. The first player introduces the detail, "All right, the forest is full of young, spindly trees." The next player adds, "And it's nestled within a steep mountain range." The third player adds, "We've taken up residence in an old mining camp." The final player says, "And the trees in this area have all been clear cut." As details are added, players draw them on the map. Okay, so we'll all take turns talking about our community. Does anyone have any ideas, like any general ideas about like what kind of setting this could be in?
Swamp.
Swamps are good. Is that good with everyone?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Do you want to take the first detail, Miriam?
Sure. So I guess it's like adding on to, okay, it's a swamp, but and add details.
Mm-hmm. Like what's a detail about the swamp?
There's lots of mangrove trees.
That's good. You should draw some mangrove trees on the map.
Okay. Let me change my ink to black and I guess, is there any way to select the thing? Oh, there. And then I guess copy and paste a couple more. Yeah, I seem incapable of doing that. I can kind of move the whole thing, but I can't copy and paste unless that's another tool.
I guess I can copy and paste.
Yeah.
They're multiplying.
Okay.
Oh no.
That's about as good as I can do right now.
Yep. Well, yeah, mangrove trees. Yee.
Does anyone else want to introduce a detail?
So what kind of like this is post-apocalyptic, this world, right?
Yeah. By post-apocalyptic, I'm not thinking necessarily that there's like technology that's just like lying strewn about from the world before, but just that like we've survived some kind of ordeal and we don't have the most, like not everything is perhaps in working condition, or we might be lacking in some things.
Something interesting is like, why are we in a swamp? Which is, that's an interesting detail.
Yeah.
Are we in the swamp to escape? Is it like a safe place? Is that why we're in the swamp? Is this the only place left to us? So maybe there's something outside of the swamp that maybe the swamp protects us. So maybe there's like an island on the swamp that we're situated on.
Yeah, that's good. You should draw that.
Okay, I'll figure it out. Let's see here. So the mango trees are part of the swamp, right?
Yeah, the mangrove trees. Oh, are they in the swamp or are they like on the island, Miriam?
I would say probably surrounding the island, giving us coverage.
Okay. So I'm going to try my best to do an island. Let's see. Boom.
I think if our community is on this island, then we should make it bigger.
How do I do that?
Let me see. I can do it, I think, and just select the drawing and scale it up.
Oh, perfect.
Whoa, there we go.
They said, yeah, because we're going to want to have space to like draw things that our community is doing.
Gotcha.
On the island. Okay. Morgan, would you like to introduce a detail?
I would say we don't leave the island mud because there is like a roaming monster in the rest of the swamp.
That's good. Do you want to draw like some like sign it's left behind of that it's like been there before?
Big old poop. No kidding. I can draw some like foot tracks maybe. Let's see here. Oh, that's not what I want. I don't want a green. Give me the color. I don't know how to use this, y'all. So I'm trying.
That's okay.
We're all learning.
Yeah.
Oh, but this where? I don't want that. I just want. How do I do freehand? Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm an artist. Look at that. Yeah. Do you need more, or is that good?
Oh, that's good. Yeah. I'm trying to think of a detail. There's an island. I like the idea of like Like besides mangrove trees, there's also like really like tall grasses all around. Like in every direction we can see, it's like the same. There's like it's almost like homogeneous, like just like tall grass in every direction that we see surrounding the swamp, so that like it's a little bit easy to like not be sure which direction you're looking at when you look out from the island.
Ooh, so it can really turn us around if we're not sure exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
We need celestial navigation.
Awesome. Oh, I think maybe I made one of these a little too big, or I want to like leave much more space if possible. Okay. Let's move on to the next page. Okay. Okay, I realized that I forgot about this next segment a little bit, but it should be fine. Next we start with resources. Next we declare an important resource for the community, something which we might have in either abundance or scarcity. Some examples are clean drinking water, a source of energy, protection from predators, adequate shelter, or food. These are just examples. Choosing a resource makes it important if it wasn't already. If you pick gasoline, it becomes something that your community wants and needs. As a group, after we do that, as a group, we choose one of those resources to be in abundance. It gets listed on an index card under abundances, and we'll just write this on the map in the corner. As a group, we choose one of the resources that we listed to be in abundance. It gets listed under abundances, and whoever called it now draws an abundance of this resource on the map. The other resources get listed as scarcities, and the players who called them draw their absence or scarcity on the map somehow. Remember that symbols and symbolic representations are fine, but words should be avoided. Does anyone want to go first? First, we should, before we start thinking about abundances and scarcities, resources can be good to serve as like an axis for like, this is the direction that like I think I might be interested in like our community pursuing.
I wanted to say mangoes, but I think. Sorry, go ahead. That's not my choice.
I just have a question thinking about like what kind of post-apoc world this is. Like, do we have any kind of technology? Are we just walking around in like cavemen or something like that? Like, do we just need food and water, or do we need materials to create things? Like, are we advanced enough to remember what technology used to be? Or are we just like trying to survive or something?
This is up to us to decide together. I feel like I kind of like something like, I guess like maybe in the middle between like, I feel like it's like, we haven't been, I guess I feel positively towards the idea of like, we haven't been here for very long enough to be like, we don't remember like what life outside of this was like necessarily, maybe. Like, I feel like we've started to like set things up in the direction of like somehow, or for some reason, we don't particularly want to be here anymore in this swamp.
Sure.
I like it. Like, we've been here for like 10, 20 years. So some of the older people know about it, while the younger ones are like, they've heard story of it, but they've been here.
Yeah.
What's the time frame of a generation? How long do generations last? Is that like 15 years or something? No. Like, we've been here for one generation, and like this new generation that grew up here wants to leave or something?
Actually, I think I think I maybe want to backtrack that.
Yes.
Because I think a lot of this game is about like like building upon things of like previous generations. Like we're gonna play through maybe like it depends on like the time scale we want to play with, but it could be like we build something and then like our predecessors build off of that. So maybe we don't want to orient ourselves towards like this is like a place we want to escape. Maybe it is like maybe we like crash landed here. I have I have this image in my head of like kind of like old timey like aviators who all crashed their like biplanes into this swamp. I don't really know much more beyond that. Is that something that people like? How do people feel about that?
I was imagining The Walking Dead or something similar, so really anything works.
I was imagining that they went to this island for safety, kind of like The Walking Dead, but like it wasn't really zombies. It was like more like radioactive creatures.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that could be related to the monster lurking outside.
maybe.
What do you think, Mike?
I'm trying to figure out what resource we're looking for.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're on that part.
Yeah, this went
seems
off
like-
on a tangent.
No, but I mean,
Yeah.
it all kind of fits together.
Yeah.
I think.
I kind of know what resource that we should be lacking.
Sure.
If we want to start there, I don't know which way we want to start yet.
I don't know about. Well, the thing is, like, we will end up listing like 4 resources, and all of them will be lacking except for one.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna throw out water, like clean water, because it's a swamp and disgusting, still virus-infected water is everywhere, but clean water does not.
Natural gas.
Ooh.
Would you say like fuel?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it makes everything stink, and it basically is. No matter how clean we get the water, it's in everything. So I feel like natural gas. Also, for some reason, I've had a fascination with gas for the past few days.
That's okay. Sorry, I'm just like trying to add text to the Roll20 and I'm having a little bit of difficulty. Resources. Okay.
Mike, you want to add anything, or are you still thinking?
I'm trying to think. Maybe something that isn't necessarily needed. Entertainment. Is that a resource? Can that be a resource?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I can see it.
Something abstract can always be a resource.
Yeah, imagine if that becomes our abundant resource or something we really want that could tell interesting stories. We're so bored.
So wait. I'm having a little bit of trouble like adding text to this. So
Are you trying to type on the map, or?
Yeah, I
am. Oh, there's a thing saying text.
Yeah, it's when I like when I click it. Yeah, maybe I can just ask one of you guys to do it. Actually, when I click, like it doesn't let me like keep typing.
Oh, there's like a really small text in the corner. Oh god, it's so small.
Yeah, I can't make it bigger.
Oh,
okay,
geez.
I can make this bigger.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so what did we list so far? Water, natural gas, entertainment.
Yes, and one more.
I feel like I'm in like 2 directions. One is either like material, like material for building shelter.
Yeah.
Because we talked about like there being some kind of threat outside, or possible. I think the other direction I was thinking of is like maybe knowledge, but because also like we don't fully understand like this threat outside. But I feel like that will continue to develop as we play. And I feel like maybe material for building shelter is more like immediately pertinent. So someone could write, I guess, like maybe just like shelter to shorten it.
Mike, you on it?
Yep.
Sweet.
Cool.
Gotcha.
Thanks. So which of these do we want to decide is in abundance right now?
I mean, natural gas seems like the sort of thing, but at the same time, that it could be interesting that we would want it, but it's not available in a swamp.
Why do we want it?
Maybe as a way to generate electrical devices if there is tech lying around.
Okay, yeah, we can say like to fuel like our machines.
Yeah.
So one thing I was thinking is, I wonder, are we like of this world? Is this a place that we are familiar with, or are we outsiders of this world? And we're bringing tech from like a different space. Maybe that's a different universe or continent or, planet or something. And so we have things that need maybe gas, and we don't have, if it comes in later, knowledge of this world. What do people think about that?
That's definitely interesting.
Maybe natural gas we have a lot of, and we try to use it on our machines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also makes everything very flammable.
I mean, it can be used if like piped and bottled, like in a way to like make canisters or flames or like a gaslit stove or something.
Okay. So it sounds like we are like, this is a place we're like not super familiar with. There are threats around us, but we have like a certain level of technology that we bring with us that we're trying to work with to like deal with what's around us right now.
Sounds good.
Okay. Oh yeah, wait. So which of these is in abundance?
I think it was the gas.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So I'll move natural gas to abundances and water and entertainment to scarcities. Cool. Okay. Okay, so for this next section, we'll start to pass the rules around to let people read them. Does someone that I exited the Twitch, but I didn't need it up, so that's fine.
What section are we on? The week?
This is section G, yes, the week. Mike, do you want to go first?
Yes. Okay. So the basic unit of play in the Quiet Year is the week. Each week is a turn taken by one player, with play proceeding clockwise around the table. Weeks should take an average of 2 to 3 minutes to complete. During each week, the following things happen. The active player draws a card, reads the relevant text aloud, and resolves it. They follow all bold text. Project dice are reduced by 1, and any finished projects are updated. The active player chooses and takes an action, discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project. Cool.
Okay. Miriam, do you want to read H?
Sure. Drawing cards. As there are 52 cards, there are 52 weeks. We won't necessarily get to play all of them. The Frost Shepherds could arrive at any time during winter. Most cards have two options to choose from, separated by an or divider. Pick the option that you find the most interesting and fitting, and read the text aloud. The card might ask you a question, bring bad news, or create new opportunities. Many cards have specific rules attached to them, which are written in bold text. If you drew that card, it's up to you to make the decision that the card requires. If a card asks you a question, think about whether your answer could be represented on the map somehow. If it fits, update the map to reflect this new information. For example, if the card asks you about sleeping quarters for the community, you might end up drawing a row of tents near the edge of the forest.
Morgan?
You want me to go for I?
Yes.
All right, I. Working on projects. Unless your card specifically told you otherwise in bold text, the next step is to reduce each project die on the map by 1. If a project reaches 0, the die gets removed and the project is completed. Whoever started the project gets to tell everyone how it turns out and then update the map to reflect its completion. If a project finishes early because a card says that, in quotes, a project finishes early in bold text, it is instead the responsibility of the active player to tell everyone how it turns out and to update the map. If your card's bold text had one place on a project die on the map just a moment ago, that die doesn't reduce during this week. It's just now getting underway. When a project is complicated, it's assumed that it went successfully and is beneficial to the community. In some cases, it might make sense to have an investigative project end with a hope dispelled. Even in these cases, the completion of a project should always feel like a step forward, not backward. This doesn't always mean the whole community is happy with the results, though.
Okay. I'll rediscover something new. So now we're going to go into the sections that are talking about the actions we can take during our turn. So one of the action types is discover something new. Introduce a new situation. It might be a problem, an opportunity, or a bit of both. Draw that situation onto the map. Drawing should be small and simple, smaller than an inch, finished within 30 seconds. Whenever things seem too controlled or easy, we can use this action to introduce new issues and dilemmas. When individual characters get introduced, we'll give them names and record those names on our index. Some example situations of discover something new. There's a dried up well located at the edge of town. Mangy wolves have been slinking around the woods. There's a broken down water wheel a mile upstream. Strange wailing noises come from the forest at night. A self-declared prophet arrives. Okay, Mike?
Hold a discussion, right? Another of the action types is hold a discussion. You can choose to open with a question or a declaration. Starting with you and going clockwise, everyone gets to weigh in once, sharing a single argument comprised of 1 to 2 sentences. If you opened up with a question, you get to weigh in last. If you opened up with a declaration, that's it for you. A discussion never results in a decision or a summation process. Everyone weighs in, and then it's over. This is how conversations work in communities. They're untidy and inconclusive affairs. Each discussion should be tied to a situation on the map. When a discussion ends, mark the situation it is attached to with a small dot. Some example conversations include, should we retaliate against the bikers? Or if leading with a declaration, we should abstain from retaliation or violence. Could we use the school bus as a sleeping area for the village children? It's important that we stay concise. If any of us feel like we have more to say on a topic, we can always hold another discussion about it at a later point.
Okay. Cool. Mary?
So I read start a project?
Yes.
Okay. The final action type is start a project. You choose a situation and declare what the community will do to resolve it. There is no consultation about this idea. The community simply begins work. Some example projects include, we're converting a mine shaft into a cold food storage. We're killing those wolves. We're going to sacrifice a newborn on the night of the full moon to appease the windwalkers. As a group, quickly decide how many weeks the project would reasonably take to complete, minimum 1 and maximum 6. Remember that you are a small community. It isn't easy or quick to build a house or repair a water wheel. Do you have the necessary tools and expense to do this? Be generous with your assumptions, but do remember that scarcity and difficulty are the norm. If a project would reasonably take longer than 6 weeks to complete, it will be completed in stages. Place a die on the map whenever the project is taking place, with the die facing die face matching the number of weeks it will take to complete. I assume these are like D6s. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
In this case, we will just like keep track of the project countdown by the turn order.
Okay.
If the turn order for some reason like becomes not visible, then I also have like I already have like die tokens for like D6, the different sides of D6s. Okay, Morgan.
Content. Is that right? All right.
Oh wait. Actually, we're on updating resources. N. Sorry.
That's N for me is contempt.
Oh, N for you. N for you is contempt.
Yeah, I don't have an updating resources one.
That's weird. Do you mind if I just read that section then?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Updating resources. At the start of the game, we'll have one resource in abundance and at least that many in scarcity. These lists serve as guides for interpreting the health of the community. Throughout play, we'll update these lists to reflect changes in our circumstances whenever we feel that it is appropriate to do so. Maybe the completion of a project alleviates a scarcity or creates an abundance. Some weekly cards will alter these lists as well. And then the next section says balancing the actions. Discover something new lets us introduce new situations and dilemmas into the game. Hold a discussion lets us all talk about the state of the map and the community. Start a project lets us solve our problems and grow. By respecting this division of purpose, we make sure each week involves making important decisions. It's important that we respect the purpose and balance of the 3 types of actions. We shouldn't use discover something new to skirt our problems by conveniently encountering the very supplies we lack. We shouldn't hold a discussion about situations we haven't even mentioned or introduced yet. I'm gonna just like read the first part of that again really quickly. Discover something new lets us introduce new discussions and dilemmas into the game. Hold a discussion lets us all talk about the state of the map and the community. Start a project lets us solve our problems and grow. Okay. Now please read contempt.
Okay, sounds good. Content. If ever you feel like you weren't consulted or honored in a decision-making process, you can take a piece of contempt and place it in front of you. This is your outlet for expressing disagreement or tension. If someone starts a project that you don't agree with, you don't get to voice your objections or speak out of turn. You're instead invited to take a piece of contempt. Contempt will generally remain in front of players until the end of the game. It will act as a reminder of past contentions. Its primary role is as a social signifier. In addition, you can discard it back in the center of the table in 2 ways: by acting selfishly and by diffusing tensions. If you ever want to act selfishly, to the known detriment of the community, you can discard a contempt token to justify your behavior. You decide whether your behavior requires justification. This will often trigger others taking contempt tokens in response. If someone else does something that you greatly support that would mend relationships and rebuild trust, you can discard a contempt token to demonstrate how they diffuse past tensions.
Okay. I added a little like a list of our names near the bottom, and we can like drag these red tokens to our name and say like contempt if we're taking a contempt token.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think we can move those though.
Oh, you can't?
Yeah.
Okay, then you can say contempt, and I will move them, I guess.
Okay.
And, yeah, I'm sorry. I know that's not like, it doesn't like emulate the exact dynamic of the game, but just like let me know if you're going to do stuff with it. Contempt tokens, I guess.
Okay.
Okay. Mike, do you want to read the next section, restraint?
Restraints. In playing the Quiet Year, we must refrain from freewheeling discussion about what to do next. There are specific mechanics in the game for discussing community issues and demonstrating our displeasure. When we play, we won't speak out of turn or attempt to circumnavigate these mechanics. These rules work to demonstrate how difficult it is to engage the entire community in conversation and how tensions and disagreements tend to linger across weeks or even months. We'll also be careful to avoid character narratives. In the Quiet Year, characters will likely emerge who we identify with. They'll have names, they'll be tied into interesting situations on the map. The game will falter, however, if we try to use these mechanics to tell a story about any one of these individuals. As much as possible, we should keep the focus of the game on the community's wants and needs and the ways that decisions get made about them. We should use named characters to support that larger bird-eyes view and not the other way around.
And Miriam, do you want to read the section pacing?
Sure. Pacing. At the beginning of the game, we'll only have a basic sketch of the landscape. From this humble place, a rich tapestry will emerge. How and in what pace? The cards of spring will ask us a lot of questions, which will establish more about the landscape and the inner workings of our community. We should use spring to become familiar with the mechanics and structure of the game. There won't necessarily be a lot of tension or conflict during spring, and this is fine. In summer, larger threats and greater progress will both emerge. We begin to define our community through our actions, and some seeds of discontent will likely be sown. In autumn, danger and failure will become more visible and serious. This will be the most trying season. In winter, the community will continue its work and preparations, and as players, we contend with the dramatic irony of knowing what the frost shepherds could arrive. Sorry, irony of knowing that the frost shepherds could arrive at any moment. If ever the map feels lacking or the community seems to have domesticated the world around it, we can introduce new dilemmas. What happens when a child murders his mother? What happens when someone screws up and it costs us a food supply? You're ready to start now. Play to find out what happens. Oh, I guess I wasn't supposed to repeat
Oh,
the last bit.
You can read that last bit. Okay. Does anyone want to go first?
Go first. We'll just go first and tell.
I can go first.
Okay.
So I'm going to look at the reference card right now that describes what we do on our turn. So each week, the active player draws a card and interprets it. Follow all bold instructions. All project dice are reduced by 1. Finished projects are updated on the map. The active player then takes an action, discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project. So we can go by the order that's on the Twitch stream. So I'll go first, then Morgan, then Miriam, then Mike, and we'll continue in that like circle. Okay. So I'm gonna draw a card and drag it onto the map so everyone can see it on the stream as well. So I'm clicking from the deck and from the top deck, which is the spring suit, and dragging it onto the map. I have 3, spring. Someone new arrives. Who? Or 2 of the community's younger members get into a fight. What provoked them? I think I am really interested in someone new arrives.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting because so we're like outsiders we're not from this place, right? We came from somewhere else and now we're here. I think someone new arrives and it's someone we don't recognize, but they also look like they're an outsider. I want to say maybe it's like, I want to say they arrive by boat. Let's say it's like in the middle, we wake up and in the middle of the night, there's someone who is just like standing on one part of the island, tending to like a motorboat that they took onto the island. And none of us know this person. But they also don't look like they're from this, like they don't look like they're suited to living in a swamp. Yep. So I'm gonna take this card and delete it. Yeah, okay. We don't have any projects. Oh, right, I do a discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project. I am going to start a project to address our scarcity in shelter. I think we send a small group of people out to see if they can like chop down some of the mango trees that surround the island. These are not the only mango trees. I'm actually gonna draw like another mango tree. Right
Is it
here.
mango trees or mangrove trees?
I had said mangrove.
Okay, I thought I heard mangrove at first too. Do we like the idea of maybe it's like, what if there are mangrove trees that also grow mangoes?
Yes. That makes me happy.
Mangrove mangoes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm sure there are some botanists or arborealists that are going to have a hissy fit, but it's fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I drew a little guy with an axe on a tree over there. Let me draw this little stick figure guy also. Okay.
On the boat. On the boat.
Yeah. Okay, Morgan, it's your turn.
All right. So would I draw spring?
Yes.
Okay. Where does it go? How do I see it? Oh. Do I just... Oh, there we go. Wait, nope. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
A charismatic young girl convinces many to help her with an elaborate scheme. What is it? Who joins her endeavors? Start a project to reflect. Or a charismatic young girl tries to tempt many into sinful or dangerous activity. Ooh, why does she do this? How does the community respond? Oh, I don't know. An elaborate scheme or sinful or dangerous activity. I would say she's gonna go with the latter here, and that she's gonna try to lure people to go help her catch the beast that's out in the woods. Why does she do this? She wants to try to get rid of the terror that's been haunting the swamps as long as she's known and her family's known, I guess. How does the community respond? In terror? In concern? I don't think she gets many, if anybody, to go with her.
Do you want to give her a name right now?
Do you want to give me a letter?
W?
W? Willa.
Okay, Willa.
And do I just delete the card now?
I want to...
How do I delete the card?
I'm thinking maybe we should... I'm just going to make it really small and drag it to the corner.
Okay.
On second thought, like, I'm not sure that like deleting the card will remove it from like that deck. Yeah, true. So we'll just try doing that. And if we draw the 3 again, then we'll also just like drag it into the corner. Okay.
Oops, sorry.
Oh yeah, wait. So do you you should draw Willa, or Willa trying to recruit members of the community.
Yeah, sure. Let me see how this looks. Yeah, this is very beautiful. Work of art. Freehand. I'm going to draw her in blue. Just to make it pop from the rest of the black that we have going here.
Yeah.
Tiniest stick figures ever. And then this is beautiful. This is a work of art, y'all. Let me tell you. I swear I draw better than this. I know how to do the arts. And then just some question marks around them. Perfect. There we go.
Nice. And now it's your turn to discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
Oh,
Oh, sorry, you should finish your turn.
yeah. I guess we can start a discussion about her trying to lure people to go do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only discussion point I can think of right now, honestly.
Okay. So I'm gonna look at the whole discussion thing again. Let me read this again. Another type of the action is called discussion. You can choose to open with a question or declaration. Starting with you and going clockwise, everyone gets to weigh in once, sharing a single argument comprised of 1 to 2 sentences. If you open with a question, you get to weigh in last. Okay. So do you want to open with, everyone basically gets to say 1 sentence. Let's go. Do you guys want to continue going in like the turn order?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Works.
So what's the discussion point?
Morgan decides.
If the people should help Willa out to go and catch the beast, or if they should not. I think that's a good. If that doesn't sound like a good discussion, I can think of something else.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out a way to have a point in that. I guess like it's one of those. I guess I would have a stance when I weigh in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just sort of trying to understand.
Can I make a quick suggestion or ask a question to clarify?
Yeah.
Is Clara? Sorry, not Clara. Is Willa kind of rousing people to meet this terror? And maybe she doesn't get like a lot of support from it, but she creates this conversation amongst the community on should we confront this terror? Not just go with her to do it, but like as a community, should we be doing this? So it was like the question. There's a discussion that we want to touch on, like should we take up arms or should we confront this terror as a group?
Yeah. Does that sound good, Morgan?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
Okay, so then my input would be we are safe here. We don't need to poke the bear, so to speak.
Mike, your turn.
If we do nothing now, it will get us in the end.
And my turn. It's just so scary. It's just so scary to not even know what it is. We need to figure out what it is. And Morgan, your turn.
Why deal with it when we can just stay here and be safe?
Okay, that was the discussion.
Yeah. High five self.
Super interesting.
I just remembered that I started the project of like harvesting wood from the mangrove trees, and I forgot to like decide how long it would take for us to do that. So we're thinking. Okay, I'm thinking that the harvesting is so we can build some kind of defense, and it's not like a wall that surrounds the island kind of defense, not like really big, but maybe it's to defend, like maybe to build defenses, like maybe like pikes or something, like on the northeast like stretch of the island. So I would say maybe, what if it takes like 3 weeks maybe to harvest all that wood?
Cool.
I like it.
Okay. So I'll go to the turn order, add wood harvest, and write 3 on it. And press add, write 3.
And then on Morgan's, it would have gone down to 2.
Morgan didn't start a project.
No, but if I read the turn order properly, the counters go down on each
Oh.
player's turn.
You're right. Yes, that's how that would work. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when my turn starts, which it's about to right now, it'll go down to 1.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, it's your turn now.
Okay. So there's spring.
Mhm.
So I just click the deck and draw one out?
Yeah. Wait,
Why?
try like if you like mouse over it, there should be like a card coming out from the top of it.
Oh, okay, there. All right, so I got 5 of hearts, which is there's a disquieting legend about this place. What is it? Or alarming weather patterns destroy something. How and what? I sort of like the legend about this place. Like, there's a legend that the island we're on is actually the back or like a part of this creature, this unknown monster. And that's why the monster hasn't attacked us yet, because we're living on it. So yeah, so how do I make this smaller?
I can go ahead and do that.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd like to elaborate on that. So are we allowed to like elaborate on things? How does that work? Not that I need something to elaborate on, but I'm just interested in like, where does that legend come from?
Yeah. I was about to say the same thing. I think we can elaborate that on I'll elaborate on it if we keep it like brief.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It could just be it just started as a rumor or like some child's imagination, and then somehow from different kids it just grew and grew and grew until it's now a thing.
Could it be like a landmark that they saw that made them think it's like, oh, that's part of a body or something?
Yeah, like that's a scale, or that's a something. It's actually shaped. It's shaped like a shell. So maybe it's some big tortoise creature or something. Or it's shaped awkwardly, so that's why. It has to be a scale or something.
Yeah. You should draw that somewhere on the map.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out how to represent that.
Yeah. Could it be like they saw something floating in the water?
Um, okay, so I added like a upside down face on the top northern end of the island. Maybe through all that project of clearing the wood harvest, it got discovered that way.
Ooh.
That's really good.
And then I guess I would say I guess I have to take an action.
Yes. Project die, go down by 1. So I'm marking that down and you take an action. Yes.
I would say start a project of maybe trying to find other physical landmarks to prove the legend's true. So like legend lore. Is that something that can be done?
Yeah, just like we can say that it's something like scouting around the island for this.
Yeah.
Or,
and I was
going to say, actually, it's up to you whether or not you want this to be like confined to the island. They could be like, they could be venturing off of the island to look for stuff too.
Yeah, it's sort of legend investigation. And I would say it would probably take about 6 weeks because it's trying to find out all the things that you could possibly find out, I guess.
Okay. Do you want to draw that on the map? I'll add that to our projects list.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Does 6 weeks sound good to everyone? Okay.
Okay, yeah, I am done.
He's so small and he looks so cute and he's like, what is this?
All right. So now it's Mike's turn. Oh, Mike, I think I can't hear you.
There.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. There we go. So, what important basic tools does the community lack? Or where are you storing your food? Why is this a risky place to store things? Interesting. I think it makes sense. Maybe what important basic tools does the community lack? Maybe we lack something to transport materials around. So when we were earlier harvesting wood, we don't have like a container, like a wheelbarrow or a cart or anything to put that in. So people are just like putting it on their backs and just carrying it around, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to draw that on the map?
Sure. Freehand.
I'll make this small.
What would that look like? So those are people and that stuff they have to carry.
Yeah.
bear with me. You get the idea.
Yeah.
Cool. And then an action, correct?
First project, should I go down?
Hmm?
So I will mark the wood harvest is done and legends goes down to 5. So when a project finishes, the person who starts the project says what happens. Working on project. When the project gets completed, it is assumed it went successfully and is beneficial to the community. In any case, moves something forward. Okay, well, I think we have more wood now, and we thought that would be enough. We thought we would be ready to start building our defenses on the northeast side, but it turns out we don't have. It's going to take some extra time just to like move the wood over there. I think this is we just have a bunch of material around the west side of the island. And I think maybe people are thinking of like maybe we should just build stuff here instead for now. Yeah, I'm just gonna draw that on the map. Materials. Okay. Yeah, now it's your turn to take an action, Mike.
So I'm thinking of doing discover something new just because we haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what that looks like. I just say what. So it might be a problem, an opportunity, or a bit of both. Draw that situation onto the map. Drawing should be small and simple, smaller than an inch, finished within 30 seconds. I wonder if during like clearing out this particular collection of wood that we use to make the spikes, I guess, somebody found like an unidentified object. I'm not really sure what that object is, but they found something that they've never found before, and it doesn't seem to be like it's not food, it's not like organic, I guess. Is the closest thing I can think of. How does that sound to people?
Yeah.
Yeah, and some kind of inorganic object. Yeah. Cool.
So then I draw that on the map.
Yeah. How big is it?
What's a good unsettling shape for a thing? A little bit bigger than a basketball. So let's see. And then what part of the island was the harvesting going on? Is that
like the northwest part?
Okay, so I'll put it around here. Yeah, I don't know, just like something.
It's like piled up with like the rest of the wood, but like on top.
Is that it for discover something new?
Yeah. it's my turn again. Draw a card. Jack of Spring. You see a good omen. What is it? Or you see a bad omen. What is it? I just like, You said you, just like cards on the table, I'm like so tempted to say like the giant monster that like circles the island or something. Like we think we see like it pooped somewhere. But I'm not sure I want to say that. And I'm also not sure like if that's a good omen or a bad omen. Okay, wait, maybe okay.
Maybe that's what's causing the natural gas.
Okay, I think it's like a mixed. I think the phrase is like it's a mixed blessing. So so it's a bad omen. The bad news is it is poop. The good news is it's like very large in size. Like, okay, no, not poop, no. Okay.
We're all 12.
Yeah.
We're adults, I swear.
Not poop, but like, okay, so you know how I said before, like there's like tall grass just like all around the island that makes it so like we can't really tell like what direction is what. Something has like broken through the tall grass in a way that just leaves one area of it completely trampled. And everyone is fearful of what could have of it. It looks like it wasn't just one thing that caused that. It looks like it must have been like if there is some kind of like thing and some kind of like monstrous threat in the area, then it looks like there might be more than one. Yeah, I'm gonna draw some trampled grasses like to the east. It's a bad omen. Okay, now project clocks go down by 1. So legends is 4. And I take an action. I think for my action, I want to hold a discussion, and my discussion is what do we do about that stranger?
Oh yeah, they're still here, aren't they?
Yeah.
Did we name the stranger?
I don't think we've talked to the stranger.
They've just been chilling here for like how many weeks now?
Like 3. Like nobody wants to talk to them because they're a little bit afraid, and everyone is a little bit afraid. And a lot of the times, maybe it's like whenever people are like kind of like get up the like build up the courage to like think about talking to them, they just like look over there and they're not there at that moment. When you're trying to like find your manager at work. Yeah. Yeah, so what should we do about this stranger is my question.
I think we should bring them into the fold. They've been here long enough to not seem like they're going to cause us harm, so better to have a stronger community than have a torn one.
Similar sentiment of they had 3 weeks to do something to harm us and they haven't yet. Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer.
Who are they and what do they want?
Okay. I think we should welcome them into our community with one hand, and with another hand hold a dagger behind our back. They might have things in that boat. Okay, that's it. That's my turn. Okay, I'm gonna mark the stranger with a red dot because we talked about it.
All right.
But behind their back. Okay, it's your turn, Morgan.
Okay, so we're still in spring.
Yes.
Is the stranger the blue stick figure?
That's Willa. The stranger is north by the boat.
I think you need to make the red dot a little bit bigger.
Okay.
Oh no, I can't. Oh no, I drew on the card. Are there children in the community? If there are, what is their role in the community? Or how old are the eldest members of the community? What special needs do they have? Ooh. Children or the elderly? I want to say, I'm going to go with the latter again. How old are the eldest members of the community? I would say, just because of how harsh life has been, I'd say they're like 60-ish, 70-ish. Because we don't have the technology and the medicine like we do now, so they're not going to get up there. And what special needs do they have? I'm going to say they have needs with certain beds. Like they had to have like a lower bed to get into because I don't know. Or we had to get extra wood to make railings, like for like if we have any stairs or any pathways or anything, they need like rails to walk around on.
Okay, yeah. So like if we're required to like use extra like shelter materials.
Yeah.
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 You want to draw that on the map?
Sure. Let's see here. So this goes over here.
Yeah.
Can you shrink it or?
I can do that.
Free can. I would make it brown. I don't know. I'm just going to draw a fence because I don't know really how to draw.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
And do some of those and do some of these. Oh, yeah, they're so even. This is beautiful. Works of art. Yeah. Check out that beautiful green footage.
It's like a little bit like a railing with which you can just like stand and look out onto the beautiful swamp.
Oh yeah, like a port? No, not a port.
Balcony for a patio.
Oh no, what is it called? It's where you're fishing off the
pier.
Pier, yeah.
Yeah.
We can get to it eventually. All right, so the turn order goes down. So the legend skips another week.
Yeah.
Where are we at now? Are we at 4, 3?
I think we're at 4. Did we do it on my turn?
I think it was supposed to be a 4 on your turn, but it didn't.
Oh, okay, my bad. I'll change it to 3.
All right, and maybe we can start a new project because I think water supplies are starting to get low, and it's about to be summer soonish.
Yeah.
So we should start either figuring out a way to convert swamp water to clean water or to find sources like an aquifer or something to get fresh water.
That's a good idea.
And I'm going to say it's going to take about 6 weeks.
Okay, yeah. by the end of 6 weeks. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll just write water ? 6.
All right. Do I need to draw water somewhere or?
You could draw some people like I mean, it's up to you what you draw. It could be like you could literally just draw someone like with a question mark and like a water drop maybe, or
Sounds
like
good to me.
Yeah.
Oh, that would really tell. Oops. I made them a long boy. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Come on, colors.
Lots of stick figures with question marks.
Everybody's so confused.
The community of stick people.
This is confusion community.
We're just a bunch of slender people. It's a slender person community.
It explains why like our otherworldliness.
Yeah, we're just aliens that are just like long figures.
Okay. Mary, your turn.
Okay. Ooh, Queen of Spring. What's the most beautiful thing in this area? Or what's the most hideous thing in this area? I'm gonna say the most beautiful thing in this area, especially as we're getting into the later part of spring, is the mangrove mango trees. They're starting to bear fruit, and the sweet smell helps in maintaining the illusion, or rather in creating the illusion that we are not in a swamp or like something of that sort. Like it soothes noses and eyes.
Yeah, it's like aromatherapeutic.
Yeah.
Draw the smell.
Okay, so I will
Little yellow fruits.
Nice.
Yes.
I'm starting to like form the idea that like this area that denotes like the island that we've drawn is kind of more like it's the island, sure, but it's like the more like stable ground, and then there's kind of an area around it that's more, it's like there's water there, but it's like beachy. It's like we can still like wade through it.
I like that. That's cool.
Okay, I'm done.
Are they crying?
Is he drooling?
Yeah.
Both.
Yes.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Okay, so I guess now I take an action.
Project clocks tick down.
Yep, I'm not too. And I think I would like to hold a discussion. Ooh, kitty. The discussion is do we keep the fruits as food or as a sacrifice to the monster? That's the discussion.
Okay. Mike, it's your turn to go first.
We are limited on food and must keep what we can.
Oh yeah, my turn. The monster didn't grow these fruits. We did. These are for us.
We don't even know if the monster likes these fruits, so why bother?
We could go halfsies, keep some for ourselves and sacrifice a little, and play both sides.
25%.
Okay. I'm gonna draw a dot next to the monster feet. Oh, when we're talking about the monster, do you mean the big monster we think we may live on, or the thing that walks around?
They're one and the same, maybe?
One and the same. Okay.
What it is, it's like a massive like jet, and then like it poops out like little smaller jets. And then eventually they just go back into the mothership.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Like offspring, maybe? Like
Yeah.
smaller versions of a larger threat?
Ooh.
You know how like there are those frogs that like have like baby frogs live in like holes on their backs?
I
Don't
have
like that.
trypophobia, so
Yeah, not a fan of that.
That's not what this is, but it could be something like it. Okay, I think it's Mike's turn. Is that right?
Is the highest status in the community? What must people do to gain inclusion in this group? Or are there distinct family units in the community? If so, what family structures are common? Did we determine how many people were here? It was like 60 or 50 or something like that?
Yeah, the game booklet says by default, imagine 60 to 80 people.
Okay. I think it makes more sense to have, I don't know, let's go with the first one. What group has the highest status in the community? I think I think because the island is so isolated, I think there's just like this group of like lore people who kind of tell everyone what they believe exists outside of the mangrove trees and tall grass, and like the secrets behind the different monsters, the very large monster and possibly the monster that we exist on. They spread these not only rumors, but like what the people actually believe is reality, I guess. What must people do to gain inclusion in this group?
Wait, I'm sorry. What do they believe again?
I'm thinking that this high status of people, like a group that has higher status, are people who like create the lore that surrounds the island.
Okay.
So like what exists beyond the mango trees and what the monster is. Like they have these wild beliefs that people kind of believe. Like this is where this group is the people who made the rumor that we are on this creature. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what do they need to include? I mean, age seems really easy, doesn't it?
Like they have to be a certain age.
Yeah, that seems too easy. Maybe like thinking what if it's like yeah, let's go with age. They have to be of a certain age. Something like maybe that's the 60 or 70-year-old group that we mentioned earlier. And that's why we put so much effort into creating like rails and things for them.
Yeah, that does make sense.
We see them is higher.
So like once you I would say like is everyone who it is above this like age like do they gain this high status? But maybe that doesn't necessarily matter because there aren't so many that it's a thing about like once you automatically become that age, maybe.
Yeah, I think the people who reach that age, who like let's say if you get to the point where you are able to be 65, let's say, that's not common.
Yeah.
Here. So there aren't that many of them, and the people who do, the community sort of reveres because of like what they might have, the lore that they might have, the knowledge that they might have.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Can you draw that somehow?
I'd rather not. Sure. I'm just gonna draw like a hut, like a building that they all exist in, that they all kind of gather in.
Hut.
Sure. Like a central. I'm gonna draw it sort of in the middle. If I can change the color of my pen here.
Like a retirement home.
Yeah. And it's easy to draw, so.
I like that it's a building.
Boom. Cool.
Nice.
And then an action. And then do the turn counters get taken down?
Yeah, I'll do that.
There it did. Okay. Okay. What do we have? I'm thinking of starting a project and going back to Willa. Maybe like doing a small exploration party to find more information on the creature that stalks the swamp. Just like knowledge gathering thing, maybe.
Would you say that this is separate from the current like legend gathering?
Legend was, if I'm correct, that was like no, I think it is pretty similar to that actually. I'm just seeing a lot of question marks that I would like to answer.
I mean,
yeah.
Miriam, would you say that that's different enough?
The legend, like exploring the legend versus exploring the actual creature.
Yeah, I think they would be different enough.
Okay.
Cool. In time frame, I think it's short. I think they're just like going out really quick, seeing if they can spot it, and then jotting down. Do they even have pens? And thinking about like what they like, trying to find it and see it, and then like just gather information on it, like how big it is, right?
Yeah.
Just something like that. So let me a week or 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
I think at least 2 weeks sounds good.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Do you want to draw that on the map?
Yes. I'm going to draw it in blue because this is kind of Willa's party. Going to draw a magnifying glass. Cool.
Nice. Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. So now it's my turn. Draw a card. 10 of Spring. There's another community somewhere on the map. Where are they? What sets them apart from you? Or what belief or practice helps to unify your community? I'm really tempted to go with the first one because that would be so interesting. But I kind of feel like we have so many kind of different threads pulling on us right now that I don't want it to be like too many things at once. I want to say, I think there's a practice that helps unify our community. And I think it is like centered around the mangoes. Um, I think I'm thinking about whether it should be like an activity that like I'm thinking of like it's something that everyone does to start their day, and I'm trying to think of whether or not it should be like something that everyone does together, something that everyone does together, or something that everyone does together and or like individually in their own like by themselves. I feel like I kind of like this weird image of like everyone getting up and standing like in a grid facing like a patch of mango trees and like reaching their arms out to them and like just breathing in the scent of the mangoes as like a calming practice.
Is it like Surya Namaskar that I've seen like a yoga? Well, I'm not quite sure. It's sometimes used in yoga, but it's like basically where you go face the sun and sort of say hello to it.
Yeah.
Sun salutations or whatever.
Yeah, sun salutations.
It sounds like that, but with the mangoes.
It's like a movement that everyone does at the same time. Everything's coordinated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The mangoes come to us.
The first thing everyone does in the morning is they go to this like they go to like this part of the beach that faces this particular grove of mango trees where there's like they're very concentrated and the wind blows in the right way so that the smell just comes in, and they all just stand there in the morning and they salute the mangoes. I'm gonna draw that on the map really quick.
Just gonna be a stick figure going.
Yeah.
Why not?
I love it. I love it so much.
You're next to that other guy smelling them.
That's sweet, sweet mango scent.
I'll draw some like yellow lines. The mango trees are like the sun.
All
Okay.
hell the old ripe ones.
Okay. So countdown project clocks go down. Legends is finished. Miriam, tell us about that.
So the scouting group comes back, and basically confirms that that what we're on is not land. At least it's not like soil or dirt. It's definitely organic and living.
Interesting.
Not like once alive, but living right now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But that's about as much. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, is there something like that could indicate that, like on the map?
I guess.
Like, do you think? What do you think? Maybe like they find that indicates to them, like, oh, this is a living thing.
What was originally thought of like swamp shifting lands is actually the breath of the creature.
Oh.
So the way I will draw it is that, and come on. It's kind of wiggling.
Doing a shimmy.
Yeah.
Has it just been like so slow maybe that people didn't realize it at first?
Yeah. And all the natural gas is its byproduct.
Lovely.
Shiftings.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the project ending. I believe it's still your turn.
I'm gonna start a project, and I'm pretty sure I know what it is, just like right off the top of my head. Before we were getting mangrove wood to build defenses on the northwest part of our island, but we realized we couldn't like move them very far. I think due to this like emergent cultural institution of breeding the mangoes every morning, they decided to build defenses around the mango trees.
Yep.
And I think they're gonna start building like just like pikes behind the mango trees facing the water. I'm thinking it's just gonna be, I don't want it to say like I'm gonna say that it's it's gonna be a 6-week project, and they're not just doing it around those trees. That's where they're the most concentrated, are next to the very fragrant mango tree patch, and there's like a little bit more like around the island and other places too. Does that sound good to everyone? 6 weeks?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yep.
Cool.
Also, this might be a bit of a pun, or rather an unneeded pun, But as we're saluting the mangoes, we go because that means that means mango in Hindi and Urdu.
Yes, I love it. Oh my god, that's fantastic.
That's great. Okay. I think we're gonna take a quick break. Does 10 minutes sound good to everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. We'll be back at like 10:27 maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
We just keep waving until we're not live.
Hi everyone, welcome back. Okay, let's get back to it. We're playing the Quiet Year, and now we have gone through our spring deck. There's an option in the game that it mentions in the first part of the game about if you want, because we're a little bit worried about time, we don't want to go through. We don't want to draw this out too long, so we removed 5 cards from each of the decks, as it's mentioned in the first part of the rulebook. So now we're on summer, and I believe it's Morgan. It's your turn.
Yes, it is my turn. Let's see here. It's fine. I was like, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, I do have some. Okay, cool. Draw one. All right. Summer is a time for production and tending to the earth. Start a project related to food production, or summer is a time for conquest and the gathering of might. Start a project related to military readiness and conquest. I want to say we're going to go with production of food.
Mhm.
And I think it's going to be more of a mangoes are good and all. I know our little community loves mangoes, but I think they need something a little more hearty, some proteins. Like, so maybe they're gonna go off on a hunting expedition to like see if they can gather meats and like small game or what have you.
Okay. Yeah. So you start a project.
Mhm.
Do you want to draw that on the map, and I'll add that to the turn order?
Yeah, let's see how this is gonna look like.
Yeah.
Why is it not working with me? Listen.
How many turns do you think it would take?
I'm gonna say 3.
Okay. Sound good to everyone?
Yep.
Did I do freehand? I do freehand. No, I changed it back to pink. Why are you changing my colors?
I think it's like you can change your color on the bottom, and that's your default color.
I mean, as much as I love pink, I don't know if I want it on the map. All right, let's see. Beautiful. I draw so well. Let's see. It's got a little bit of a square head, but that's okay. A little bit of arrow bow situation. Bow's a little curved, but that's all right. I'm gonna make it part of the tail. Boom. Yeah.
Oh,
Love
nice.
it.
Okay. So all of the projects go down by 1 now.
Okay. Except for the hunting one.
Oh yes, yeah. Mike, tell us about the expedition to find more information on the stalking creature.
So they didn't go out with bows because the bows are being used, or the weapons that we have are being used for hunting. So they're just kind of walking through the tall grass to see if they can spot it. And I think on like day 8, they come across like fresh tracks and are able to follow them to a part of a like I don't know, part of a swamp that looks cleared out, like less foliage around it. And oh, okay, so they see almost a husk of something very large. They find it seems as if the creature that they've been following is able to shed its skin in some way. They're not sure what that means. If it died, if this is just part of its process, But that's what they find.
Like a discarded skin.
Yeah.
That also means they know what it looks like, right?
Yes. Size wise, I don't know. It's like smaller than Godzilla, but larger than, what's an interesting size? Like the size of a small elephant.
Oh, that's big. Are we humanoid size?
I think it seems like it.
I think just for brevity's sake, I think we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say it's
Okay.
that big if everyone's cool with that sort of size.
Sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what they find.
Do you want to draw that on the map?
Like, I guess everything on this map is obviously not to scale. Otherwise, we have big and small humans.
The drawing part of this game is an interesting mechanic because it forces you to like conceive of what something might be. Maybe this is like a swamp clearing sort of, and on it is a like discarded shell, which I don't know what that would look like. How's that work?
Yeah.
Sure.
Cool.
And now it's your turn to take. Wait.
I think that was
It's-
Morgan.
Yes, it's Morgan's turn to take an action.
I forgot it was still my turn. Alright. Well, I already started a thing, so I don't want to start another thing. Maybe we can hold a discussion about the findings about the creature.
Okay.
Like what?
Which one?
Oh shit. I mean, sorry. I would say about the smaller one, about finding the baby elephant-sized skin.
Okay.
What do you think we should do with this?
I'm next. We should make it into leather.
I mean, resourceful, yes. Hopefully, it does hold up to leathering. That thing, tanning. I don't
Yeah,
know.
or like develop it into maybe some sort of armor or defenses.
Ooh, I like that too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. What can we use it for? How can it be of use to our island?
Ooh. I don't know if I can interject at all, but
Yeah, not right now.
okay. Go ahead.
I'm just like, I want to say like we should burn it. It scares me. Its big teeth are. I just wanted to like I'm like picturing it as having like particularly like noticeable fangs. And I don't want to describe it in any more detail than that right now, because I want to leave that open. But its fangs are really scary. I think we should just burn the skin. Yes.
Excellent. I'm down for using it, like maybe like as a if it's big enough, using it as a roof for one of the huts that needed to be replaced. Like, I mean, not as defense per se, but more as a shelter aspect.
Okay, that's the end of the discussion.
Cool.
All right. It is now my turn. So, there's Summer. So someone new arrives. Who? Why are they in distress? Or someone leaves the community. Who? What are they looking for? Maybe the stranger, I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go with someone leaves the community. So I think the stranger maybe is tired of nobody interacting with them and decides to leave, searching for a community that pays attention to them.
Okay. You want to draw that?
Yep. There.
Okay. Okay.
And I guess the counters.
Yes. The counters go down.
And I will actually discover something new. And that is that a flock of ravens have started sitting on the mangroves and the mangrove mangoes. And some of the mangoes are starting to disappear.
Oh no. Our mangoes. Please draw these ravens.
All right. I'll draw it while the next person takes their turn.
Sure. These raven cravens.
Whose turn is it?
It's your turn.
So we're on Summer, right?
Yes. Wait, are there more cards? There should be, right? Mike, are you able to draw a card?
I cannot.
Neither can I.
It looks like only on Winter I can.
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna try dealing you one card, and we'll see if that works.
Yeah.
It says we ran out of cards to deal to players. Okay.
Can I pull one from the side on the left?
I think these are the cards that we already drew. But we only have gone through 7 of them, and there's supposed to be 13. Okay. So let's just, I'm gonna recall all of the summer cards, and let's just keep in mind we've already, if we get 2 or 3, we should skip them, and then I'm gonna. Yeah, let's just do it like that. If we get 2 or 3, we should skip them, and then we'll stop at when we get to the number 5 left again. Okay, now try.
You're muted, Mike.
Oh. Still muted.
How about now?
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good. All right. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Cool. So predators and bad omens are afoot. You are careless and someone goes missing under ominous circumstances. Who? Or predators and bad omens are afoot. What measures do you take to keep everyone safe and under surveillance? Do not reduce project die this week. So I'll go with the first one. Someone goes missing under ominous circumstances. I'll go with Willa. Willa has been beating the drum to get people to in action, and one day she goes missing. She's been asking people to take up arms against this creature, and one day nobody knows where she is.
Oh no, our island's moving.
Yeah, I think I accidentally moved it. Is that correct?
Oops.
Is that
Yeah,
good?
that looks. Wait.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. I think I was trying to move the card.
I'll move the card.
Cool.
Do you want to select and delete Willa from the map?
Oh. Can I do that?
Yeah, can you?
I don't know if I can.
No, it seems like players are incapable of deleting things.
Okay, I'll delete it. Don't know why players can't do that, but that's fine. Okay, Willa is gone.
Bye.
Conflict.
Okay.
Stranger's gone. Willa's gone.
Everybody's leaving. They're getting out while the getting's good.
They're being yeeted.
Yeah.
Oh, that could happen too.
Pikes.
No, excuse me.
I accidentally deleted Pikes. Okay. So project clocks went down, and it's your turn to take an action, Mike.
So I'm going to choose hold a discussion, and instead of asking a question, let me go to the rules. I want to make a declaration. So I go to the rules to make sure that makes sense. Cool. Yeah, I'll make a declaration as like maybe part of Willa's crew calls out that the monster took her. We must act.
Sorry, I exited the Twitch. It's me, right?
Yep.
Okay. If the monster can I think the person I'm voicing is just like they're just paralyzed by fear, unable to say anything. I'm afraid that the monster isn't. I'm afraid that Willow's abduction is because of one of us looks around. This person will be the next person to disappear.
Mm.
Okay. Morgan.
All right. My turn already. Let's see here.
Oh wait, no, it's your turn for the
Discussion.
discussion.
Yeah, I was saying, where are you going? Oh, it's my turn to answer. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was a declaration though. It wasn't really a question. So, how do we rebuke that? Just be like, oh,
Yeah, it's like respond to it. Like, how do people in the community feel about this declaration? Or the thing it's addressing?
I think they're a little concerned, and they're like, who else can be taken? What else can happen? Maybe once the hunting party comes back, we should go after and like hunt it down. So for Willa, and they're like, yeah, for Willa. Willa.
We should have given it more mangoes. Now it took Willa.
I don't think it was the mangoes.
Willa smelled like the mangoes.
What happened to Willa?
It craved it. It didn't get enough mangoes, so it craved flesh.
Oh no.
Okay. Is it my turn now?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I will draw 6 of summer. Outsiders arrive in this area. Why are they a threat? How are they vulnerable? Or outsiders arrive in this area. How many and how are they greeted? I want to say that I want to do the second one. Outsiders arrive. How many and how are they greeted? And this time, it's the same stranger as before. They come back and they've led an expedition of 5 more strangers. And this time, instead of ignoring them, I think we like send one. We send a child out. Like we send a child to like run over across the beach to their boats and greet them with a small basket of mangoes, just like here, like as like kind of like a we mean no ill will peace offering kind of thing. Oh crap! I deleted the island.
Oh no.
Okay.
Gone forever. Went underwater.
Yeah.
End of game. Good job, y'all.
GG.
Wait, did we actually delete the?
Ooh, Roll20 is acting a little funny for me.
I wonder if it's because of all the different drawings we did. It's like there's too many objects to handle.
Maybe. I hope not, because we're just gonna keep putting on more. Okay, I drew a small child holding a basket of mangoes, and also I'm gonna draw some more boats. And I think the strangers are just like they like. I want to say maybe they're like wearing something that obscures their faces, so we can't read their expressions. But but even though we can't read their expressions, they kind of just like look at each other and like accept the mangoes. And they don't like do anything different than they don't do anything different than the stranger did before, just like making sure their boats are okay. Yep.
Are we able to communicate with them? Do we speak a different language, or is that too complicated?
I feel like I want to say we speak a different language. I feel like that kind of just makes sense. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, I'm gonna mark the project clocks down and take an action. After I finish drawing some boats. Okay. I think I want to discover something new because it feels like we haven't done that in a bit. And it one of the mango trees on like the northwest side, which is the side where we were like intended to build pikes at first. Um, one of the mango trees has been just like knocked over. It was a really big mango tree. It's been knocked over. There are claw marks on it. It's evident that it looks like whatever did this, it was like maybe it was like the stalking monster that's been like in this area. Um, it it tore down one of our mango trees.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we've discovered, and I've drawn that. Okay, now it's Morgan's turn.
There we go. Sometimes you forget you're muted. All right, we're still pulling summer, is that right?
Yes.
Ooh, 2 of diamonds.
Oh, I think this is the one that we already did.
Okay, so
Yeah.
can we?
I'll take that and draw another one.
Okay.
I re-pulled like 5 cards into 5 summer cards out of the deck, so we should be just like counting it down now.
Take 2. You discover a cache of supplies or resources, add a new abundance, or a scarcity has gone unaddressed for too long. Start a project that will alleviate that scarcity. I'm gonna say we found a cache of supplies or resources. Let's say with the new people coming, we have new people coming in, right?
Yeah, these outsiders.
Maybe they bring something with them.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
What do they bring though? Ooh, vegetables, like like greens and wild onions and all that good stuff.
Thank you for writing vegetables.
Who wrote vegetables?
I did.
Oh, fantastic. You need to draw green things?
Yeah, draw like some vegetables on one of their boats.
All right.
I am highly in favor of this.
All the green stuff, healthy and whatnot. Beautiful. Look at that green.
Nice.
Nice. Green stuff.
Green
Green
stuff.
stuff.
Turn order goes down.
Mm-hmm.
And what do I want to do? Maybe we should hold a discussion about the new people. What, like, as a community, what should we do about them? Oh, should we let them in, or should we just overcome them, take the resources, and kick them out? Like,
I think because we have but speaking outside of the discussion right now, I think they have like because we have this abundance. In my head, I think it makes sense if it's like in response to a member of our community giving them mangoes, they're giving us these vegetables in return, because otherwise it wouldn't make sense for it to be a resource we had now have access to, you know?
Okay, so maybe a better question is how to better incorporate them into our group. Maybe? I don't know.
My input would be have start a trading hub, like a trading market day.
Okay. Have them ask or communicate to them to join us in our mango salutations.
Though they have shown that they can be trusted, though they've shown that they're willing to exchange supplies, we must never let them near the mangoes. They already have mangoes. We must never let them near the sacred grove.
Oh, yeah.
This is our grove, no one else's.
We need to corner the market.
And Morgan, you get the final statement.
Oh, I do. I guess since we're starting to be on good terms with them, we can slowly start incorporating them in like some of the production that we're doing, like hunting or gathering, like something that sort of incorporate them in slowly, but nothing like to give them any sort of power. They can be with us, but they can't be in charge of us, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay. It's Miriam's turn.
All right. Okay. A project finishes early. Which one? Why? And then if there are no projects underway, boredom leads to a quarrel. A fight breaks out between two people. What is it about? I guess because there's no or, you have to follow the directions. It's one or the other. So then I would say the hunting finishes early. And the wasn't Willa one of the hunters, if I recall?
Could have been. I don't remember.
I think we talked about Willa being like leading the expedition, like to investigate the stalking monster, but not necessarily one of the hunters, because they're not hunting the stalking monster, they're hunting for like small game to eat stuff.
Okay, so Willa wasn't a part of the food hunt?
Correct.
Okay. So they come back because we haven't given them enough bags, and therefore that was all they could carry. And they found lots of small game like birds and bunnies and like sort of well, bunnies are not in swamps.
Maybe
could be
these ones are.
Yeah, swamp bunnies. And like small like I was gonna say like mice, like sort of, but like guinea pigs or like something similar, like kind of capybaras. Yeah. And they stuffed as many as they could. And yeah, the reason why they're back early is because they ran out of space. So I will.
Yeah, this is good. You should draw capybaras or something. I'm gonna try. Yeah, I can write. Okay, I'm gonna write. Should I write small game, meat, capybaras?
Capybara meat.
Truly a great day. We have 2 cards left in the summer deck, and then we move to autumn.
Is it my turn now?
Oh no, that was just the card.
Sorry.
Hunting is done. Project pots go down.
Action.
And I think I have to take an action.
Yes.
So, I will say, discovering something new, which is that there are now mockingbirds that have shown up. I'm just gonna keep adding more birds. That have shown up in the sacred grove.
What are they doing with like the raven?
The ravens somehow, the birds are all like, it's almost like a gathering. Some fruit is disappearing, yes, but it's almost like there's some sort of bird con going on that nobody knows.
Bird con. Year 20, I don't know.
20XX.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep, and that's my turn.
So many birds.
It's gonna be like Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds eventually.
Yeah.
Ugh. Ugh.
Mike, it's your turn. Oh, Mike, you're muted again.
About now.
You're good.
Okay. Trying to turn it down. I think I muted it. So a project fails. Which one and why? Or something goes foul and supplies are ruined. Add a new scarcity. Oh no. I love to use these birds. Maybe the birds have affected the pikes, building the pikes in some way, building the defenses in some way. Like every time we go to kind of during the start of the day when people go to kind of continue working on that stuff, they get attacked by ravens and the other bird. So I'm going to choose the first one, a project fails, and the pikes.
Okay, I'll delete that project.
So like that defensive wall, we very difficult to get in there.
Yeah. Please draw the birds interfering somehow.
And Miriam, I don't know if you wanted to describe the birds, but like, are they normal looking birds? Are they larger than average birds?
I had basically said they are regular birds, so like mockingbirds and like ravens.
Okay. But,
but they're almost just like they're congregating and just waiting.
Okay. Do you have an idea for them by like
Kind of, but I was sort of playing it by ear depending on the cards.
Okay.
So this is a perfect opportunity to add to it.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna draw people here. Next to the birds.
I'm gonna delete some of these pikes because they weren't able to be finished to completion.
Awesome.
So now the project clock goes down and you get to take an action.
Cool. I think I wanted to discover something new. And so for turns, are we able to kind of coordinate with other players on what we discover new, or is that just by the player?
I think it's just by the player.
Okay. So I will run it by Miriam first. I'm interested in like once we kind of get in contact with the birds, we find out something new about them. So can I add to your bird mythos, Miriam?
Sure. Yeah. As I said, you go nuts. I'm just gonna keep adding birds every day.
Okay. Okay. And then see what happens from it. Yeah, I like the idea that these birds don't act like regular birds. Like they don't eat seed, or like they don't eat like they're not they're omnivores. Like they're attacking people and seem to be trying to eat them. So that's why it's really difficult to get through through them and continue the spike defense, because they're like attacking and trying to eat people. Not to like eat them whole, but pecking at them. Sort of like Hitchcock's The Birds, basically.
I did this to us. I'm so sorry.
Please draw some kind of bird attack.
Oh no. I don't want to be graphic, but
Draw some birds and laser eyes. That would work.
okay. I like that idea, actually.
X-eyes on some of the creatures. Ooh, they just got more evil.
And somebody has like a cut on their cheek, like a gash or something. Cool.
Cool. Oh, it's my turn. Okay. Wait, it's my turn, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
7 of... Wait. Okay. 7 of summer. Introduce a mystery at the edge of the map, or an unattended situation becomes problematic and scary. What is it? How does it go awry? I was just thinking about something, which was, you guys remember when we had people who were like cutting down mangrove trees for wood, and they found something weird and like not organic among the wood. I think when people, I think someone just like is walking by the like material pile in our island, on our island. Someone's just walking by it and idly thinks to themselves, like, oh yeah, wasn't there like that thing? And they look over to it where they last saw it, and it's not there. It's gone. It's gone, and people don't really know where it is or like why it might have been gone.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm erasing it from the map. Turn order goes down 1, so in the next turn the water should be done. And it is all right. I take an action. And for I've been thinking about this a little bit too, and we don't have to pursue this direction more if people don't want to, but I'm thinking maybe one of our people is like kind of hanging out with one of these outsiders, um, and like we don't share the same language, so like communication isn't perfect. And they're walking by the mango trees, and we're grumbling about like these birds are just taking they're like our fruits going missing. We can't complete our projects. They're hurting people, and one of the outsiders who we can't read their expressions, like um, as they're like walking by the mango tree, they pull out something that's like they pull out some sort of device and point it at one of the birds, and one of them just like drops dead. And we've discovered, this is my discover something new, which is that we've discovered that the outsiders have something that can hurt birds, and it can hurt birds.
Mhm.
And I want to be explicit that I'm framing this in neither like a very positive or very, this is not necessarily a positive thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna draw that. Colored his face in a little bit because we can't read their faces. Okay. Now it's Miriam's turn. It's Morgan's turn, sorry.
All right, which one are we? Are we in fall now?
Yeah, we're on fall now.
Mm.
Can someone pull that one for me? Because the deck's not showing up for me.
Oh, okay. I'll do that.
Thank you.
Okay. Can you see it?
Yeah. Someone returns to the community. Where were they? Or you find a body. Do people recognize who it is? What happened? Well, I think we know what happened. Or who it is, rather. It's Willa. And they kind of recognize the body. A lot of decompositions happened over the weeks. So it's kind of hard to exactly see, but they do recognize her. And do they know what happened? She looks like she was attacked by something. Some claw marks, some bite marks. That's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, turn order goes down.
Please draw Willa's body.
Oh no.
Or if not Willa's body, I don't know, maybe
Just a gravestone or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, let me just fight with this. Roll 20. Stop. Roll 20.
I don't want to like dictate the thing that should be drawn that shows like the event of the turn, but it's fun to say things like draw Willa's body and draw the bird attack.
I'm gonna put it in blue so it pops. There we go. I like grass. Bluegrass, yeah. I think, and then turn order goes down, and then I want to hold a discussion about this. Well, what?
What? Wait, the water project should be finished now.
Yeah.
Whose
Okay,
project was that?
that was mine.
Oh, okay. Do you want to tell us what happened?
So with the water project, it was successful. They were able to use the gas to sort of boil the water and start filtering out the bad stuff through it. They were able to find like some sort of like leaf that was able to like filter it out. So they're able to slowly use the swamp water itself as fresh water after going through various processes. So it's a slow process, but they are starting to build up a reservoir to go
Cool.
into the colder months.
I think I'll delete water as a scarcity because it's something we've like taken a project to address. Maybe does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and now your action.
I'm going to hold a discussion about finding Willow's body. This is, I think the town's like up in arms and concerned, like what to do, how do we protect others from doing it, like what what was it really the creature out there, or was it something else?
See, the birds must have punished Willa for, in return for not having the mangoes. They decided to take Willa, and other such ramblings.
Let's go with the birds. No. What happened to the object we found earlier? Where is that now? Maybe it has something to do with that.
I think it has to be the creature. The creature knew that Willa had sworn vengeance on it. That's how this works.
I think we should really stick to groups when we go out and be more careful. This is a dangerous thing that we're handling, and we should really just try to go in numbers.
Okay. It's Miriam's turn.
Queen of Autumn. Disease spreads to the community. Choose one. You spend the week quarantining and treating the disease. Project dice are not reduced this week. However, there is no project, so I feel like that's not fair. Nobody knows what to do about it. Add health and fertility as a scarcity. I'm gonna say, yeah, that makes more sense. To add health and fertility as a scarcity. So I guess I will write that down in text. And it's a weird, nobody quite knows what to do about it, and it seems to be affecting the young more than the old.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So
Do you want to draw that on the map somehow?
I will.
Okay.
Come on.
Nice drawing.
And Yeah, so I guess with no tokens, I need to I will discover something new. And peacocks show up.
Interesting.
Where are they?
They're now also perching on the mangrove mangrove.
Hmm.
The mangrove grove. So I shall draw that.
The
Oh, no,
mangrove tree.
Freehand. Yeah, that's why you do that. There. And that's my turn, and I can continue fussing while someone else takes their turn.
Okay. And we are on autumn, right?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So, a project just isn't working out as expected. Radically change the nature of this project. Don't modify the die. When it resolves, you will be responsible for telling the community how it went. There are no projects, or something goes foul and supplies are ruined. Add a new scarcity. Cool. So let's go with that one. What is a scarcity that we might be lacking? So a new scarcity. So it says supplies are ruined. We haven't really gotten into like what kind of supplies we have used yet. So I'm thinking rather than like material, maybe we've lost people. Like how does that work for people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So we've lost like the people who know how to do certain things, like hunting or chopping up wood, like the person who was. So okay, so in the last hunting, maybe people have been hunting kind of regularly after the first expedition, hunting down capybara,
Yes.
and there was a bad capybara accident. And
We can't say it was a cappy accident. Sorry.
And so we were able to get meat, but we lost the person who does that. So what kind of scarcity would that actually be?
Hunters?
Yeah. Which might play in later or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, let me type that in. Cool, thank you.
Do you want to draw that on the map somehow?
Mm-hmm.
I want to name this leader of the hunters. I want to name them Parsley. Parsley, the leader of the pack. This is a great season.
Okay, cool. Oh yeah, and then for the action,
That area looks like a mess with all the trees.
Yeah.
It looks like a massive monster.
For actions, let's maybe start a project to work with the new arrivees who aren't really new at this point. Maybe build them homes to live in. I guess they've been kind of
living in their boats.
Yeah. Okay. Here's a better idea. Building a communal building for us all to be in. So we don't really have like a shared space as of right now. They kind of live in their own section of the island. And we kind of live in our own section, but we don't really have like a shared hut or like longhouse or space that we can both be at. So building that so it'll exist.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Okay. And then time is probably long, like 5 weeks, maybe, or should it be longer as 6?
5 weeks sounds like it makes sense.
Reasonable? Okay, cool.
Yeah. We already know like what a hut looks like. We just gotta make a long one. Oh yeah, let me add that to the turn order. Longhouse? Add 5. Okay. Are you adding that to the map?
Oh, yes.
While you do that, I think because it's starting to get a little bit late, we should just go ahead and jump to the winter season.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The winter season has, let me see. Right now there are 7 cards in the deck. And right, at any point we might draw the King of Winter, which represents the arrival of the Frost Shepherds and the end of our quiet year. Okay. Oh, okay.
Well, that was quick.
Oh.
I
was gonna put flamingos and everything.
Yeah, I really didn't expect that. Let me read this really quick. I'm looking for if there's like a suggestion of what to do when the Frost Shepherds arrive. I think the only thing left to do is that we've like. Okay, give me 1 second. The Frost Shepherds arrive. The game is over. I'm reading this section really quick on in the book. During play, it's best to leave the Frost Shepherds an elusive mystery, perhaps hinting at what they might be but never directly answering. The game ends abruptly when the King of Spades is drawn. The card is read aloud. The game immediately concludes. Once the game is over, it's fine to talk about what the Frost Shepherds might have been, what their arrival might have meant for the community, or any of the other situations that were faced throughout the year. With the game over, the limits placed on communication and discussion are suddenly lifted.
We never actually discussed what the Frost Shepherds were at all.
Yeah. I think it seems like they might have been related to us like being in this place in the first place.
Or they're the stalking monster.
Yeah. In my head, the inorganic thing that we found when we were getting the wood was really important. Like,
Ooh,
I mean, maybe that was
could
like
have been like some sort of a device. If we had researched or done stuff with it, could have told us exactly when the Frost Shepherds were coming or something.
it was something that like heralded them. Maybe it's like the disease that killed. I don't know. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Just like what the frost shepherds are. Are they an entity? Are they something more abstract? I don't know. Are they like a group of people?
The game, because the name implies that they could be a group of people, but I think the game frames them as being like they definitely could be like abstract or like a force of nature.
Okay,
The
interesting.
Night King.
Bird kings.
Yeah, the way this has been going, it seems like it's the birds, really.
The Bird King has arrived, and it is a flamingo.
Yeah, or maybe the birds were like, who's the person? Saruman. He has his bird flock. All right, let's not go down that route. But maybe they were like a herald to these.
Yes. Oh, that's really good, actually. In my head, I was thinking these birds just pushed us out of the community.
They all our mangoes. They're eating us.
Mm-hmm.
They're eating our pikes. We just
Yeah.
gotta go. There's too many of them.
Yep.
Oh,
And I think I actually had one each season. So literally every season, there was a new bird coming in.
yeah.
And so then maybe the frost shepherds aren't like a savior to us, or maybe they are.
Okay, I'm gonna let's like end our game right here. I think this is I think we drew some really good conclusions. I really like our discussion of I really like the birds as herald to the frost shepherds. Yeah. Thanks everyone who followed along with our game and joined us for a bit or joined us for the whole thing. Remember, we have our Discord and Patreon. You can find them by typing in !Patreon and !Discord into the Twitch chat. You can also type in !merch and get linked to So Nerdwear, where we have Welcome to the Party merch. Yeah. There's a schedule down under the stream, and you can watch more of the game, watch more of Welcome to the Party, and watch more of Vibrant Visible Victorious. Have a good night, everyone. I'm Kevin. You can find me at KHongDraws on Twitter. Morgan.
Hi, I'm Morgan. I am Serena Bezos on Twitter and Instagram.
Hi, I'm Miriam, and I'm media_junkie, and you can find that's my Twitter handle.
I'm Mike. I'm on Twitter at Mort Hobbs. Love to see you.
Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Okay.
Yay.
Cool.